It's Yuli Trades back with the new video with the trade recap. I'm going to be going over Friday's play that I took for 0TD Friday. I took it on live with the members. Hopefully everybody banked and kind of seen my thought process going into that trade. So let's go into the bigger time frame. Right, this is kind of a little bit messy. I'm going to take out my EMAs and my VWAP just so you guys can see. Let me take this out, right? So going into Friday, once again, I'm looking for my strategy, right? If you guys don't know a little bit about my strategy is inside bars on the bigger time frame. And all I am doing is taking the breakout and target previous highs or lows on a smaller time frame, meaning a 1 hour, 15, 15 is the lowest I would say I would go for TPs. But yeah, that's initially what I am doing, right? I'm just taking breakouts. I love breakouts, y'all. I'm a scalper. I love scalps. So sometimes I hold it more. Sometimes we could get paid in 5 minutes. Sometimes we could get in 10, 3 seconds, something like that, right? So yeah, so I was looking at IWM because it had my setup, which was that inside setup on the bigger time frame. Now, us going into Friday for 0TD Friday, there's going to be two things that I am going to look for when taking this breakout, right? As you guys know, breakouts are very risky because sometimes it could just be a fake out and then just reverse. So the two things that I mainly look for with me being comfortable in taking the breakout is it has to be below my 21 EMA on the 15-minute time frame, and it has to be below my 5-minute VWAP, right? So yeah, we're gonna go into the 5-minute on opening day. This was market open. So right here we have market open, right? Now let me zoom it out a little bit. I also have this trend line. If you guys don't know what trend lines are, it's basically kind of like a resistance or support trend line, right? Initially right here, you see that this trend line has been touched 1, 2, about 3, solid 4 times, right? So me taking the breakout of the trend line, it breaking that kind of an uptrend, with it holding onto this trend line, using it as support. If it breaks, this is gonna dump, right? We're gonna have a nice move to the downside, and especially with 0TD Friday, you guys already know how 0TDs move, so you could get paid, right? So me taking this breakout on the trend line, this is something I kind of had that confirmation on. As you guys see, when we open, we start to kind of wick off this trend line, right? But I want to see it break and confirm my entry on my breakout, which is my inside low. So here we go. Let's turn on the VWAP as well because we got to watch that when we were on live. Like I said, if it's below my VWAP, my 21 on my 15-minute time frame, if it forms a FVG in the midst of it breaking or even above it, even better, right? Because if you're struggling with finding a stop loss in the strategy, initially what I'm doing here, all I am putting my stop loss at an area of that used to be support, turning into resistance. Let me zoom it out. As you guys see, this is kind of my, so not kind of, it is my stop loss, right? Clear level right here on the 15-minute. And yeah, so going into Friday, we get that opening candle, right? We're trying to get below my VWAP. Let me make it clear. This pinkish reddish line is my 5-minute VWAP. And on the 15-minute, this yellow line is my 21 EMA. So I'm kind of like switching back and forth with 2 time frames because I want to see even 3 time frames, right? Because I want to see that confirmation on one, go to another, and then lead to the other, right? So here on the 5-minute, I am watching that VWAP. I already know on my 15-minute, right, that we are well below my 21, right? So I'm feeling confident about this. What else do we have here? We have a 15-minute FVG to back us up in a way, but I want to see an intraday get created just for me to feel even better or even add to your position, right? So this is the candle where we kind of are just kind of ranging in between that VWAP, kind of indecision, right? There we go. What do we have? We have this nice strong candle. If you look closely, What do we get below? We get below that VWAP. We're breaking that trend line on the bigger time frame. And since I am a breakout trader, I am basically getting in as we are breaking this 4-hour inside, right? So I think I got in around this area going into the 4-hour inside. But yeah, I got in around, let me see. Let me see where I got filled with time. Where did it buy? Okay, I got filled at 9:38 a.m. So basically, yeah, this candle right here. So I got filled at 9:38 a.m. as we were taking that 4-hour inside breakout, right? Let's let it play out. At this point, we're in profit here. What do we see? This next candle closes on the 5-minute, and what do we create? This VWAP. I mean, not the VWAP, this FVG, right? So kind of like where my stop loss is at. You could always put your stop loss on this 5-minute FVG because we want to see kind of if it does pull back, tap into this FVG. We want to see it kind of deny, right? Or at least come retest this 4-hour inside low and deny, right? So we're in this trade at this point. I believe we're like above 40-30% here. There goes about 50-60%, maybe 70. But as you see, we have that nice denial. We're going into TP1. And what do we create after that? What do we create after that? We create another what? FVG. And in this one, we do come closer. We reject. And yeah, so we smash through TP1. We come to TP2, which is previous lows. As you see, this is a previous low on the 15, right? And by the time it hit this, I believe I got out, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got out around here, yeah, as it hit my next TP. But I was telling the chat that I see IWM most likely coming down to this gap. As I always preach, gaps are magnets, guys. If you ever see a setup that's close to a gap, you could definitely long it or short it to that gap, right? Depending on what setup shows. So, yeah, I personally took it here for about 110, 113%. We got paid. And yeah, just confirmed all my entries, right? We were already well below our 21 EMA. Yesterday, right, the previous day, which was Thursday, we already had this 15-minute FVG. So even if we didn't break on the first 15-20 minutes, even if it didn't do that, it denying off this FVG would want me to take this breakout even more, right? So just kind of building different scenarios. You have once again kind of like a line of defense with this FVG, right? Because you know if it denies, it triggers our 4-hour inside entry. Boom, we're in, right? So but yeah, as you see throughout the whole day, IWM literally just continued to die, and this was definitely like a what, like a possibly 400, even 700% play, because we were in 204s, mind you. We were in 204 contracts, y'all. We got filled for 1.01, and then on my small account I got filled for 0.92. So I believe these cons went to like 5.0 or even more, y'all. So these went very deep in the money. As you see, towards the end of the day, we tap into that magnet, which is that gap. Look at that. And yeah, so it was a very nice play. Felt good about it. And yeah, I just played my setup like I always do. And yeah, hopefully everybody banked off this play. I'm going to leave it here for this trade review and trade recap.